Today we're going to talk about requesting an exam to be proctored at Clemson's Student Disability Services Test Proctoring Center. You can do this in 3 easy steps. 1, the student has to make a request. 2nd, the instructor has to verify the request. And 3rd, the TPC administrator approves the request and administers the exam. The easiest way to get to the website to make an exam request is to go to Clemson's homepage, www.clemson.edu, and do a search for Test Proctoring Center. This particular website will give the student and professor an opportunity to review forms and also procedures and review documentation. On the right-hand side of this screen, there's a link where the student can make an online test proctoring request. Once you click the page, the next screen is going to review the procedures for requesting exam proctoring at the TPC, the Test Proctoring Center. The student must enter the request 7 days prior to the exam date. They cannot schedule the exam at a different time or date than the rest of the class without the instructor's approval. Once they click the I understand these procedures button, they'll come to a screen where they select the course that they want to request the test from. They also have to verify that they talked to their professor about the date and time of the exam, and this is where they can put the scheduled exam date for the class and their requested date. The student must check that they are registered with Student Disability Services, and they also can enter the accommodations for the exam. In this example, I requested a 15-minute warning before test time is over. Please take the time to read the policies and procedures. When the student clicks Submit Request, the last screen allows the student to be able to request another proctored exam, or they can return to the home page. The email the instructor gets looks something like this. This is where it actually has the exam information that the student has requested, and there's a link at the bottom that allows the professor to be able to click that link to where they can verify the exam. Once the instructor will be asked to log in with their username and password. Once they log in, they have to verify that the student has discussed the use of the Test Proctoring Center for this exam, and they also have to verify that the student has presented the faculty with a current academic accommodation letter. And then click the button at the bottom that says Submit Verification. The next screen is where you can set up the parameters for the exam. It shows you the information that the student has submitted, and then you can also come down and see where the exam date and the time is. You can certainly change that, and even the total allowed time for the exam. We also need to know how the instructor would like to be contacted during the exam, if necessary. You can enter a telephone number, you can put email, or you can also say that you're unavailable. If there are any additional accommodations that the student needs during the exam, this is where you can place check marks beside those individual items, or you can select Other and describe what that item might be. If you have an additional approved material or special instructions, you also enter that here as well. If there's a password for the exam, please enter the password for the proctor administrator. We also need to know how you're going to deliver the exam to the proctor, and also how you would like for the exam to be delivered back to you. In this instance, I said I will upload the exam to the TPC, so you can see what that screen looks like. And I also said that after the exam is completed, I'm going to deliver it back to bar B105. And lastly, the administrator needs to know what to do in case there's a no-show. So if the student doesn't show up to take the exam, you can say you want the exam shredded. You can return the exam to a particular location, or if you want to leave other instructions, you can do that as well. And then click the button at the bottom that says Submit Form. The next screen indicates that the proctor request has been submitted to the TPC. If you look down at the bottom, there's also a button that says Choose File. This is what you would select if you wanted to upload the test to the Test Proctoring Center. Once it's uploaded, or let's say you want to upload it later, or if you want to go back to find out what steps are left out and where you are in the process, there's also a button at the bottom that says Instructor TPC Control Panel. Your control panel tells you where you are in the process and what needs to happen. So in this, it shows that I have 2 tests that have been submitted to the TPC, and no confirm request at this time. But they have not been approved yet. Notice I have the little exclamation point indicating that I haven't uploaded the test yet as well. Please remember, if you have any questions, you can always visit Clemson Student Disability Services website. If you do a search for Test Proctoring Center, this will take you right to their webpage. This is where you can review the guidelines and the procedures. Please take your time and read the instructions carefully. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us.